Madam President, Honorable Speakers of Member Parliaments and Heads of Delegations, Honorable Delegates, invited guests, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the Parliament of Kenya delegation, I'd wish to register my thanks to the people, government and the Parliament of the Republic of Rwanda for hosting the 145th Interparliamentary Union Assembly. Honorable delegates, SDG number 5 proposes the achievement of gender equality and empower all women and girls, with target 5.1 speaking to ending all forms of discrimination against all women and girls everywhere. If we are to reduce the imbalance that disproportionately affects women and girls, we need to take up our role as champions for gender equality at national, regional, and global level. Honorable delegates, the Constitution of Kenya 2010 underscores the respect and protection of all rights, and especially gender-based rights, and ensuring that all forms of discrimination, including violence against women, are explicitly prohibited. To this end, Article 28 of the Constitution guarantees every person inherent dignity and the right to have the dignity respected and protected. To this end, Article 28 of the Constitution guarantees every person inherent dignity and the right to have the dignity respected and protected. Article 27, Article 27(6), and Article 56 promotes the elimination of discriminative laws, customs, and practices relating to women, girls, and marginalized groups. Since the first woman was elected to Parliament in 1969 in Kenya, the political landscape in Kenya for a long time remained predominantly a male affair, thus disenfranchising our women. Article 97 of our Constitution now provides for the election of 47 women elected from each of our 47 counties to the National Assembly. Article 98 on the composition of the Senate provides for the nomination of 16 women members. Article 98 provides for the nomination of a man and a woman to represent the youth, whereas Article 98 provides for the nomination of a man and a woman to represent persons with disabilities in the Senate. With an enlightened public that appreciates the need to break the barriers to involvement of women in public affairs, there has been a steady increase in the number of women in both Houses of Parliament. This has seen the number of women MPs rising from 18 in the 11th Parliament to 21 in the case of the Senate, and for the National Assembly from 69 in the 11th Parliament to 82 in the 13th Parliament. The current Deputy Speaker of the National Assembly and the former Deputy Speaker in the Senate are both women. In the 13th Parliament, women were elected to positions of the Deputy Majority Party Leader and the Minority Party Whip in the Senate, and the Deputy Majority Party Whip and the Deputy Minority Party Whip in the National Assembly. Honorable delegates, in 2002, the Kenya Women Parliamentary Association, KWOPA, a caucus for women parliamentarians from both houses of Parliament, was established. The caucus advocates for women's rights with a vision of a society where women and men are equitably represented in Parliament, in decision-making in public and private spheres, and also to promote sustainable development. KWOPA has been instrumental on matters on women and other special interest groups like children, PWDs, and other marginalized groups. The Parliamentary Service Commission, which is a constitutional body established to provide services and facilities to members and staff of Parliament, emphasizes achieving constitutional principles of equity in terms of gender, ethnic balance, and especially interest groups in empowerment and in employment opportunities. The Parliament of Kenya has established a policy on anti-harassment that protects female members and staffers from exploitation and workplace vulnerabilities. Distinguished delegates, to address the threat of counterproductive socio-economic attitudes and practices to women's autonomy and well-being in Kenya, the Parliament has passed specific legislation and approved programs towards uplifting the status of women. Notably, among these laws include the Matrimonial Properties Act, the Protection Against Domestic Violence Act, the Children's Act, the Sexual Offences Act, the Counter-Trafficking in Persons Act, the Prohibition of Female Genital Mutilation Act, and the Marriage Act. Establishing of government programs that empower women include Uwezo Fund to expand the access to finance through grants and credit to our women. Women Enterprise Fund, which has benefited over 800,000 women groups and resulted in the growth of women-owned enterprise. 3, the National Government Affirmative Action Fund, NGAF, that has improved the livelihoods of vulnerable women, youth and persons with disabilities, children and the elderly. Honourable delegates, the following actions may be considered by parliaments in devising ingenious ways to address the gender inequality. 1, gender quotas, through which the gender gap can be bridged, especially at the level of political parties. B, elimination of all obstacles to gender equality by making deliberate efforts to identify and address the root causes of gender inequalities and not just the symptoms. C, legislation that promote equal access for women and men to elective positions. D, mainstreaming gender in parliamentary work and enduring the rule of procedure.